All righty, thank you for that wonderful DJ break that kept our energy flowing. So now I'm just going to talk to you all about our next speaker. Taleah Elliott is an author, professionally trained child model, award-winning young dancer. She began her modeling career appearing in ad campaigns for Strong National Museum of Play and Fisher-Price. Taleah has studied jazz, ballet, tap, and hip-hop dance. She has won many trophies, including a 2018 Starbound Judges Award for her solo dance routine and a 2019 Countdown First Place High Gold for solo dance. By 5 years old, Taleah's love for storytelling and fascination with books spawned her first self-published book, Puppy Love, a story highlighting the value of love. Taleah has a heart for literacy education, which resulted in the creation of the Story Carnival event series, which merges carnival game fun with reading stories. Continuing with her unwavering mission for education awareness, Taleah is working on completing her first music project, which infuses mathematics into songs. With a strong love for music, acting, and dance, coupled with her love of reading, Taleah's repertoire is growing rapidly, and she's on her way to trailblazing into the future. She's a rising star who is soaring to new heights while creating a path for youth to follow. Welcome, Taleah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Taleah. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you excited to be with us?
Yes, thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm really excited to have you. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about dance. So out of all the things you do, would you say that dance is your favorite?
Yes.
Really? Okay, so what's your favorite genre of dance? What's your favorite? Let's talk about it.
I like jazz.
Jazz? Yeah, I like jazz too. So what about jazz do you like?
I like how I can just feel free to be sassy and do whatever I want.
Yeah, I love the sass. So would you say that, what would you say is your favorite thing about getting ready for competition?
Probably the clothes.
The costumes? You like the costumes?
Mm-hmm.
What about them?
I like how some can be glittery, some can be natural. It just shows your potential in the costumes you wear.
Yeah, the costumes are really important to the competition. It helps, bring the routine to life, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your favorite trick. What's a skill that you've recently learned that you're so good at and no one can do it better than you?
Probably a chess stand.
A chess stand.
I can hold a chess stand for a while.
Really? That's great. So let's talk about the other genres of dance. What would you say is your least favorite genre of dance?
Well, I don't really have a least, but the one I don't really like that much has to probably be tap.
Tap? I used to love tap. Why don't you like tap? That hurts my heart.
I used to like tap when I was younger, but now I don't really like it that much.
Now you think you're growing out of it?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, you can find that love for tap again. So let's talk about ballet. So how much do you love ballet?
I actually really like ballet because I can just feel free to move around, just be elegant and show me.
I think that's great. And I think it's especially great that you like ballet because a lot of little girls, as they get, exposed to the other genres of dance, the more fun, as they call it, they start to grow out of their love for ballet. But as we know, ballet is the basis for all the other genres of dance. So, you know, if you don't take your ballet seriously, your jazz will suffer, and so can your hip hop and your tap.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your star-bound competitions. So is that your favorite competition that you like to go to?
Yeah.
So when you're on stage and it's just you doing your solo, what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is to just do it alone. I can go on my counts to the beat, and I can just be me.
Love that. So, you know, your solo gives you a chance to just show the whole audience and show your parents and the world and your teachers everything they've taught you. It's a chance to show off in a way that you can't really do, you know, when you're in your group setting with everyone together. Would you say that dance helped you to make a lot of friends?
Actually, yeah, when I moved to North Carolina, I actually didn't really have any friends until I came to this one dance. I made a bunch of friends.
Right, so dance helps you to make friends. So let's talk about school a little bit. So I see that, you know, you've written your book, and then you love to do your cuddle time, story time, and you're now working on your music to where you're gonna have math in song. So what's your favorite subject in school?
Has to be math.
Math.
But
Impressive.
I also like reading, but math just shows like how smart I am, and also it includes some reading too.
So what's your favorite part about math?
I like multiplication and division.
Really? I think that's fabulous because, you know, there's not a lot of girls in the STEM field. So the fact that you like math, that's a good and great sign. I think you're well on your way. So let's talk about your book, Puppy Love. So how did you start? Like, why did you write that?
Because it's a true event of what happened. Like, I can just write out my feelings about how I almost lost my puppy.
So your book, Puppy Love, was just you, you know, recounting and writing down a real life story that happened to you for other little boys and girls to read about.
Yes.
I think that's amazing. Do you plan on writing any other books?
Actually, yes, I actually have a bunch of books coming.
Oh, really? So you're in the works. Can you give us a little sneak peek about maybe one of your books that you're working on?
Yeah, there's one called Dare to Share about how I don't want to share my toys, but I have to because sharing is caring, and I have to share something.
I think that's great that, you know, you're writing books based on things that have happened to you and your experiences that everyone else can read, and you have great life lessons behind those books as well. Even Dare to Share, I think that is a lesson that many adults can also learn from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite memory? And that can be about your dance experience or your modeling or anything dealing with you writing a book. Just your favorite memory in all of the things that you do.
My favorite memory was probably dance.
Yeah, is there one particular instance that, you know, you remember so vividly and it's near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, my group dances, like with all my friends, me and my group just dance together.
I think that's great. So let's talk about the hardest part about writing books, because, you know, that's not an easy task. There's adults that they're authors and it takes them multiple years even to write their books. But what's the hardest part for you?
The hardest part for me is the hardest part for me probably has to be, what's the hardest part for me?
We can flip the question. Okay, so what's the best part of writing your books?
The hardest part for me is staying focused on one idea.
Ah, organization, you know, that's really important, and making sure your priorities are organized so that, you know, your book's not all over the place and, you know, you have one topic that you're talking about, so it's easier for your readers to follow. So what's the best part of writing your books?
The best part is probably, easy part is probably brainstorming with my parents, because I can say, I want this color and I want this color in that text, and I want me just like this and stuff like that.
That's wonderful. So let's talk about some of your modeling experience. How did you get started in modeling?
So it started with it started with Mary Therese, where I was modeling. I learned tea manners. I learned how to sit as a lady. I learned how to model.
Okay, so were you ever camera shy, or were you always, just ready to rock and roll?
I'm always ready to rock and roll.
Okay, heard that.
My
Ready
dad's
to rock
a
and roll.
photographer.
Your dad's a photographer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. You just
So
have the at-home photographer.
So we do photos and videos a lot.
Yeah, so you're a pro at this point, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what advice would you give to another little girl just like yourself who wants to get into modeling? Any tips?
Be kind, be encouraging, be yourself, be a leader, and never discourage yourself.
I think that those are great tips that can not only apply to any little girls who want to model, but to anyone in life in general.
And work hard too.
Yes, work ethic. You have to work hard to get anywhere that you'd want to go. So how did you get started with, your Facebook Live sessions? I've seen on your social media that you do those where you read.
Yeah, so I decided to, since all this has been happening, I decided to read to the people that haven't really seen me read. So virtually, I decided on Facebook and Instagram that I'm going to be reading live so people can hear me read, and I'm also decided to do crafts with the read so they can hear me read and make a craft.
Okay, so let's talk about your journey. You're only 8, but you've accomplished so much. You're a model, you're a dancer, you're a published author. That's amazing. So what would you say, is the biggest hurdle that you've had to overcome during your career?
I actually have 2. The first one is me having health issues. I've been sick lately and I haven't been able to get things done. So I think that I should just lower down on some things for work and think and talk about health more, because my health is more important than my business.
Absolutely. Your health is the most important thing. And I'm glad to hear that, you've been feeling better. So,
and the second hurdle is my brother. He died, and it's been hard for me to do anything because he used to make me feel better, and he used to go to every single event. So it made a little bit hard for me to move on with my business, but I continued with my business.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your brother, and, he's always with you. And I'm really excited to hear that you use that, as a motivating factor to keep it pushing. So let's talk about school a little bit more. So you said that, math is your favorite. You love to multiply and divide. How important do you think it is that girls, specifically, brown and Black girls like us, really apply ourselves in the math?
Because when you get older in age, you're going to be needing math for grocery shopping and stuff.
Absolutely.
You have to add up the prices of the groceries you buy, and counter money.
Definitely. Math is a life skill, and you know, we have to really take advantage of all the things that our teachers are teaching us in these classes because, you know, like you said, when we get older, we're going to be wondering, hey, I learned this in 3rd grade and I don't know it now. So very important.
And also, you can, it's also mixed with STEM. So you can also, like, you can keep up with the world with math, because math is in the word STEM. It's at the end of the word STEM.
Yes. So let's talk about who inspires you. I'm sure there's plenty of people around you, you know, pushing you to be better and teaching you things every day. So who would you say, you know, is your top inspiration?
My top inspiration probably has to be my mom and dad, because my mom, she's really smart and beautiful, and my dad, he does photography, and he can teach me how to use cameras. He can take me to his photo shoots, and I think my mom and dad are my inspiration.
That's a wonderful answer, and it seems like you have great parents that are super supportive and they push you to be better every single day.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your earrings. Are the earrings you have on, you know, a part of your inspirational jewelry line?
Yes, me and my mom actually made these.
Oh, really? So is jewelry one of your passions that, you know, you're interested in developing?
Yeah, I'm selling my book Puppy Love and jewelry.
Great. So how did you get started in jewelry? Is it something that you always liked or something you had an interest in?
It's something I had an interest in since my mom's been making jewelry since she was really young. So I decided I wanted to also make jewelry and include it into my business.
That's fantastic. So, you know, you are just such a diverse young lady, and you have your hands in so many pots. So how do you keep your priorities straight? So how do you make sure you're getting first place at the dance competition while making sure that you get your book written on time and making sure that you're fulfilling your jewelry orders? How do you keep it all straight?
So I look at my schedule. I decide to do one thing on one day and another thing on the other day, and just make my schedule.
Absolutely. I think it's so great that you're so organized at a young age. That's a skill that many adults, you know, still haven't really buckled down and got to the bottom of. So I've seen your Instagram and your wonderful pictures there. So do you have anything that you'd want to do in the future, like collaborations, or are there any endeavors or any other areas of interest that you would like to pursue?
Disney, a magazine, I'm making a magazine actually.
Oh, really? Tell me a little bit about that.
The magazine is just us kids. It's kids and what our businesses are and stuff like that, and what we like to do. Like my brother, he's in it, and he likes to play video games, so he's making a career off of playing video games.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit about somebody you may know. Do you know who Misty Copeland is?
The dancer.
Yes, ma'am. So, you know, Misty Copeland has been a trailblazer for, you know, African-American girls. So in ballet. So do you think that you see yourself in Misty Copeland, and how important do you think, you know, seeing somebody that looks just like you do the things that you want to do in the future is?
Well, she's like a mirror, and of an older version of me. And me, if I keep doing ballet and keep going on with my dreams and stuff in ballet, then I think that I can be like her.
Absolutely. You definitely can be like her. You can see yourself and be, if Misty did it, then I can do it too. I think that's a wonderful attitude to have. So let's talk a little bit about, you're 8 years old, but you don't live the typical life of an 8-year-old, right? You're very busy. So when you wake up in the morning, what keeps you going? Sometimes, you might just want to lay down and go to sleep, but I'm sure you're busy. And what pushes you?
Well, actually, there's this game called Roblox that I play, and it keeps me awake.
So use roadblocks. It keeps you awake and keeps you engaged and keeps you going.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's talk about your future. You're only 8 and it's way ahead of time, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with planning for the future. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
What I want to be a dancer, an actor, and a singer.
A singer.
And a Roblox player.
And a Roblox player. That's very important. I like how you added that in there. So how important do you think it is to find your passions and the things that you like to make sure that, when you're an adult and you're trying to find a career, that you're doing something you actually enjoy?
Because when I grow up, like, if I don't know what I want to be and what I want to do, like, I have to know what I want to do and be in life so
Right.
I can succeed and go on with that.
Absolutely. Do you have, any friends who are interested in business? And if you did have any friends around your age interested in business, what would you say to them?
There's actually my friend from dance. Her name is Bella. She's actually making a jewelry business. And if she's watching this, I just want to say to her, you're doing good so far. Go on with your dreams. Don't let anyone discourage you.
Absolutely. Great advice for anyone. So how has being open to trying new things benefited your life?
So trying new things helped me grow as a public speaker, because once when I was invited to do a TED Talk in front of a lot of people, it was a cool opportunity, but I was also really scared because I didn't want to make a big fool of myself and in front of a big crowd. But even though I've been dancing in front of a lot of people my whole life, I just didn't want to, because I had to memorize a whole speech.
Right.
It was just really scary, and I had butterflies in my stomach, but I actually did it. And I can add public speaker to a list of things that's in my life skill and stuff.
Absolutely. I think it's great that you've done a TED Talk at such a young age. There's a lot of people, adults as well, who they aspire to do a TED Talk. And that's something that you just knocked right out of the park. So let's talk a little bit about how you manage your expectations and how you keep a positive attitude. So we know dance is a sport, and some people come in first, some people come in, last place. So how do you maintain your high spirits knowing that you did your best in the event that you don't get first place?
That's because dance is just for fun. Dance is just to keep active and do something fun. So it's not really anything to get sad about.
Absolutely. So as long as you had fun and as long as you did your best, that's the most important thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a couple of questions from the audience. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here's one question. What role do your parents play in your success?
They play as my workers.
Your workers?
They help me with everything.
That's great. You have some great supportive parents. I bet they do feel like you're workers. But I'm sure when you shine on stage, or when your book comes out, or when, your song comes out, they're beaming with pride.
Yes.
Okay. So how far do you want to go with your passions and careers?
I want to go until I get older. I want to go on with my life. I want to be successful in life. And I just want to go on with my dream that I've always wanted.
Absolutely. And I think we're all very sure that, you know, you will continue and you will achieve great success throughout your career. So, you know, I keep mentioning that you're 8 years old. I know you probably think that's a little weird that I keep saying that, but I don't know if you realize how much you've accomplished at a young age. So a question from Malia Walker is it very encouraging to achieve all of these things at such a young age?
Yes.
So how do you feel about that? So how do you feel being 8 years old and having, you know, your own book and, you know, your own modeling career? How does that feel?
It's a lot of work to keep up with all of that just in like probably just one day or 1 week. It's just a lot of work to keep up with everything that's been happening in life and not going outside with a mask all the time. It's just really hard to do things that you really want to do, but you really can't.
Definitely. And you talked about going outside with a mask on all the time. So, you know, COVID-19 has been impacting everyone. So as a young girl, you know, how has your summer and your experience been, you know, dealing with COVID-19, and how are you coping?
I've been doing virtual dance, and I think it's probably been fun because I can hang out with my parents. I can have fun with my dog, Roscoe. I can hang out with my brothers, and I could just hang out with my whole family.
So a lot of family time, and you know,
Also homeschooled.
oh, you're homeschooled? Yeah, so that I think that plays a factor as well. So let's talk about your future. You know, you're 8, so where do you see yourself maybe in the next 5 years?
I probably see myself in Hollywood in 5 years.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get there? What are you going to do to push yourself to reach that dream of being in Hollywood?
I'm gonna audition for movies, for like shows and stuff. I'm going to really try my best to get in Hollywood. I'm gonna practice my singing and dancing and acting.
Absolutely. So let's ask one more question about your singing. So we talked a little bit about how you're going to have, you know, mathematics, and you're going to have an album where you're singing about math. So what made you want to do that?
My brothers, because my older brother and my second older brother actually made a music video that's like what I'm making. They rapped and stuff, and I wanna also do it and go on what they've been doing and add on to it.
Absolutely. It's great that you know, have your brothers to influence you and to push you, and then you can build from there, and you all can help each other and succeed together. You all seem like a very close family. Okay, so let's talk one more question about, you know, there's a lot of little Black, brown, and girls watching today who look up to you, who want to be like you. So what would you say to them?
So get a mentor. Like for me, I say get a mentor because I'm blessed to have a very talented mom and dad for my mentor. And also, you have to listen to your parents because sometimes your parents actually know what to do, and you can avoid their mistakes they make if you just listen to them and hear them out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I'm sure all the little girls who are listening said, my parents, but, you know, maybe coming from you saying to listen to your parents, they'll, you know, think about that and listen. So thanks so much, Taleah. We are glad that we can have you today, as well as our other amazing entrepreneurs. We're going to kick it over back to Katira for another giveaway.
Bye.
Bye.
We're actually all done with giveaways for today, so I just wanted to go over to Natalie for our closing remarks. Thank you.
All right, can you guys see me? Oh my gosh. All right, listen, I just want to say thank you so much to all who have joined us for today's summit. It was absolutely incredible. I think we've learned about the power of having a mentor. We've heard about the power of getting your business in order, about the power of getting your money in order, about the power of believing in yourself, about the power of having people who believe in you, about not letting bullies be so powerful, about using that type of bullying to inspire you to create change, about solving a problem that you see, creating types that are designed for you, that are designed for girls of color, being the solution to something that you have identified as a need in your community, about the idea that it's never possible to start too small. We all start where we are. I've heard from so many people today, all of our speakers have said, just start, just start. And I want to speak now to all the parents who are watching. Thalia just joked and said, you know, her parents are her workers. And it made me laugh so hard. It was so cute. But the truth of the matter is these kids are who they are. These young women have become who they are because their parents believed in them and their support structures supported them. And so if you are on today and you are with your young daughter, your granddaughter, your niece, you or your friends got on today, I want to encourage each and every one of you all to be the support structures that you need, to be the support systems that you need, and to encourage each other. There really is no such thing as a really bad idea. There's always time to pivot and move into something else. And I think that everybody that we heard from today started where they were. And all of what we've heard from today is about successful women in business. So hats off to all the young moguls, all the young bosses who joined us as panelists today, and even our young DJ boss who joined us, Radio Girl. Thank you so much for your artistic expression during our interludes. I want to move to the next slide and just make sure that I also thank our entire team for putting today together. So Walker's Legacy is the collective of a bunch of hardworking women who work in service to our commitment to empowering women of color, girls of color, through business, through perseverance, through financial literacy, and more. We do programs, conferences, summits, convenings, and initiatives all across the country. And I get a chance to speak, but today you guys got a chance to hear from an amazing group of young women who have joined Walker's Legacy and have been interns with us for the last maybe 2 or 3 months. I gave them this project and they really took it by the horns and really made something so much more significant than what I could have imagined could have happened today. And I'm very excited to just give a special shout out to our intern cohort for our summer 2020 program, Katera Keeler, Danielle Thomas, Aisha Kamara, Nia Ross, and Morgan Rahman. Again, thank you all so much for all that you all have done in making today's summit possible. I also want to thank other members of our team, which includes Skylar Green, who you heard from, Mia Sims, who's been behind the scenes and is responsible for so many of our summits, Suli, who is our graphic design genius and whiz, Rachel, who recently joined us and is helping with our entrepreneurship research, Jana, who handles all of our membership, and Lana, who handles me. So with that being said, I just want to again say, who runs the world? I think after today's summit, it is absolutely evident that it is girls. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I encourage you, if you know of a young girl who is serious about taking her business to the next level and wants to participate in our summer boot camp, understanding that so much of what has transpired due to COVID has impacted all of the ways in which we engage and learn, Walker's Legacy, through our foundation, wanted to make sure that a summer camp was possible for girls. And so in conjunction with the Girls Summit from Walker's Legacy, we're very proud to have Girls Who Enterprise, which is a multi-day, multi-week entrepreneurship training program for young girls to take their businesses and to take their ventures to the next level. You can learn more about that at walkerslegacy.org. As always, you can stay connected to us at walkerslegacy.com. And again, thanks to the team, thanks to the panelists, and thanks to you for joining us.